Welcome to Infinite Mind Potential, where we explore the depths of human psychology and ancient wisdom to unlock your true power. Meet Aiden, a young man of 23 years who feels completely trapped within the invisible prison of other people's heavy expectations. He spends his weekends surrounded by noise and crowds, yet he has never felt more isolated and lonely in his life. Aiden spends money he does not possess to impress people he does not even like, hoping to buy their temporary acceptance. He is terrified of being exposed as a fraud, constantly acting a role that does not fit his true financial reality. His inability to say no has turned him into a doormat for everyone who needs a favor or a quick loan. These social attachments are not just habits. They are heavy chains that restrict his movement and suffocate his true, authentic self. At night, the silence is deafening because he is forced to confront the emptiness that exists beneath his carefully curated persona. One fateful evening, he discovers an ancient text that challenges everything he knows about connection, loyalty, and the path of life. This is the philosophy of Miyamoto Musashi, the legendary Ronin who never lost a duel and mastered the art of solitude. Musashi wrote the Dokudo, or The Way of Walking Alone, a week before his death to guide future generations of warriors. For Aiden, this book is not just history. It is a mirror reflecting the weakness of his current state of existence. The first lesson hits him hard. Do not regret what you have done. Acceptance of the past is the first step. Aiden realizes he spends hours replaying awkward conversations in his head, wishing he had said something cooler or more impressive. Musashi teaches that dwelling on the past is a waste of spiritual energy that should be used for the present moment. By letting go of his regret, Aiden starts to reclaim the mental space that was previously occupied by anxiety and shame. He begins to understand that the rush to fit in is actually a race towards a destination that he never chose. Social attachment makes us puppets, dancing to the tune of others until we cut the strings and learn to stand alone. One afternoon, Aiden notices Hana, a girl who seems perfectly content in her own company, radiating a sense of calm independence. She represents everything Aiden is not. She is present, grounded, and completely unconcerned with how the world perceives her quiet existence. Their conversation is different. She does not try to impress him, and her honesty disarms his usual arsenal of people-pleasing tactics. She invites him to visit her grandparents, who live a simple life in the countryside, far away from the city's noise. This sanctuary is a physical manifestation of the Dokudo philosophy, a place built on necessity and devoid of shallow social pretense. The old man explains that he loves the tree, but he does not try to force it to be a flower. They begin to teach Aiden about the concept of loving without possession, a core tenet of living a life of freedom. Aiden voices his deepest fear, believing that attachment is the only proof of love, and that detachment means being cold-hearted. The grandfather points to the river and says that you can drink from the water, but you cannot grab or hold it. If you try to clench your fist to hold the water, you lose it. If you relax your hand, it stays. He realizes his relationships have been about control and fear, rather than genuine appreciation for the people in his life. Musashi taught that a warrior must do what is necessary and then move on, leaving the emotional baggage on the battlefield. For the first time, Aiden feels comfortable in silence, realizing that true connection does not require constant validation or constant entertainment. Returning to the city, the neon lights seem less dazzling, and the promise of social status feels empty and incredibly hollow. The old temptations arise immediately, trying to pull him back into the cycle of spending and pretending to be someone else. This is the moment of truth where the philosophy of the solitary warrior must be applied to the modern battlefield of life. Musashi warns that if you seek to please everyone, you will lose your way and eventually die a spiritual death. He chooses to stay home, not out of fear, but out of a conscious decision to value his time and resources. He directs the energy he used to waste on others into his own creative work, finding a deep sense of fulfillment. The way of walking alone requires discipline. It is about mastering yourself when no one is watching and no one is clapping. He starts to detach from the consumerist culture that told him he needed to buy things to be worthy of love. Solitude becomes a friend rather than an enemy. He learns to nourish his body and his soul without needing an audience. The backlash is inevitable. When you stop playing the role others assigned to you, they will try to guilt you back. He sees their anger for what it is, a reaction to losing their control over him, not a reflection of his worth. Musashi's strategy teaches us to be like a mountain, standing firm regardless of the storms of opinions swirling violently around us. He decides to face them, not to apologize, but to set clear boundaries about his new lifestyle and his financial limitations. Their mockery confirms everything he learned. They were never interested in his well-being, only in what he could provide for them. Walking away from toxic relationships is the modern equivalent of a samurai cutting down an enemy to protect his own life. The rain feels cleansing. He is wet and alone, but he feels lighter than he has ever felt in years. Solitude is not loneliness. It is the state of being complete in oneself, requiring nothing from the outside to feel whole. He begins to build physical strength, understanding that a strong mind requires a strong vessel to carry it through the world. He replaces the cheap dopamine of social media likes with the slow, rewarding satisfaction of learning and expanding his mental horizons. Writing becomes his therapy, a way to converse with himself and understand his own emotions without needing a validator. Hana notices the change immediately. The desperate energy is gone, replaced by a grounded presence that makes him more attractive. Their relationship deepens because it is based on two whole individuals sharing their time, not two half-people needing completion. Musashi warned that a warrior carrying too much baggage on the battlefield is slow, weak, and an easy target for enemies. Aiden applies this to his material life, removing the clutter that distracts him and drains his finances and mental energy. Financial independence is a form of weaponry in the modern world. It gives you the ability to say no to exploitation. He gains the courage to reject opportunities that do not align with his values, knowing he has the resources to survive. Non-attachment allows you to be flexible. When you are not rigid in your expectations, you can adapt to any situation. When conflict arises, Aiden no longer takes it personally. He observes the anger of others without letting it penetrate his armor. He responds with logic and dignity, turning a potential disaster into a demonstration of his newfound emotional maturity and control. People are naturally drawn to those who are self-possessed. Respect is not demanded. It is commanded by one's own behavior. Meditation becomes his daily practice of detachment, training his mind to observe thoughts without getting carried away by them. A still mind is like a mirror. It reflects the world accurately, whereas a turbulent mind distorts everything it perceives. A test of his non-attachment arrives when they encounter someone from the past who could trigger jealousy or insecurity. Aiden realizes that jealousy is born from the fear of loss, and since he does not possess Hana, he cannot lose her. His confidence proves to her that he is a strong partner, one who adds to her life rather than restricting it. In his final years, Musashi lived in a cave, proving that physical luxury is unnecessary for a rich and meaningful life. Aiden seeks challenges that test his limits, understanding that comfort is the enemy of growth and the killer of ambition. The victory over gravity is sweet, but the victory over his own doubt and laziness is the true prize he seeks. He learns to give freely. True kindness comes from a place of abundance, not from a desire to be liked or praised. Musashi taught that envy is a sign that you are looking at another's path instead of focusing on walking your own. He sees the highlight reels of others and feels no sting, knowing that everyone has their own struggles behind the scenes. Comparison is the thief of joy. By staying in his own lane, Aiden preserves his happiness and his mental clarity. Invest in yourself. The skills and knowledge you acquire are the only assets that no one can ever take away from you. Like a sword forged in fire, a strong character is built through the repetitive heat and pressure of daily discipline. He chooses long-term security over short-term status symbols, breaking the cycle of debt that traps so many young people. Connection to the earth grounds him. There is a simple, honest truth in nature that city life often tries to hide. Just as the plant grows when given the right conditions, Aiden's soul expands when he removes the weeds of toxic attachment. He is no longer drifting. He has a destination and a map, drawn by his own hand and guided by his own values. The way is not a destination, but a continuous journey. There is always more to learn and higher peaks to climb. When he sees suffering in others, he can now offer genuine help because he is not drowning in his own problems. He listens without judgment, applying the strength of silence to let his friend find their own answers in his presence. He offers wisdom, not commands. He understands that everyone must walk their own path and learn their own lessons. This is the paradox of Dokkodo. By learning to walk alone, you become a better companion to those who walk with you. He develops compassion for the masses, seeing that most people are prisoners of the very same attachments he has escaped. Musashi teaches us not to mourn separation. People come and go like seasons, and each plays a role in our story. A major test arises when Hana reveals she must leave the country for a year to pursue her academic dreams. Instead of begging her to stay or guilt-tripping her, he celebrates her success, proving his love is free from selfishness. They part ways, knowing that their connection does not depend on physical proximity, but on mutual respect and shared values. He walks away alone, but he does not feel lonely. He feels the strength of his own character supporting him. Life goes on, and Aiden continues to build his empire of the mind, using the solitude to accelerate his growth. Musashi was not just a killer. He was an artist. Solitude gave him the space to master painting, sculpture, and philosophy. Aiden discovers that creative expression is a powerful way to process emotions without needing to dump them on others. He creates something beautiful from his solitude, turning what could be a weakness into a source of profound artistic strength. He shares his work with the world, not for validation, but to connect with others who might feel the same way. He accepts the compliment gracefully, but his self-worth remains independent of the opinions, whether they are good or bad. Musashi advises against complaining. It is a passive act that drains energy and changes absolutely nothing about the situation. When challenges arise, Aiden no longer wastes time cursing his luck. He focuses immediately on finding the solution. He accepts the reality of the moment, fixes the problem, and moves on, embodying the stoic resilience of the samurai. Even in misfortune, there is an opportunity to practice patience and to appreciate the journey, bumps and all. Technology bridges the gap, but it is their independent strength that keeps the bridge sturdy and safe for both. He is happy that she is happy. This is the ultimate test of love without possession, and he passes it effortlessly. He does not need to talk to her for hours to feel secure. Quality over quantity is the rule of his life. In his dreams, he sees himself as the warrior he has become, a protector of his own peace and destiny. He wakes up with purpose, no longer dreading the day or the demands of others, but eager to live his own life. His professional life flourishes because he speaks with the authority of someone who trusts himself completely and fears no judgment. Success follows authenticity. When you stop trying to be what others want, you become exactly what the world needs. He achieves success on his own terms, carrying the wisdom of Musashi into the corporate world as his secret weapon. He looks back at the frightened boy he used to be and feels a deep sense of compassion and pride. Musashi reminds us to keep our mind straight. Distractions will come, but the warrior stays focused on the ultimate goal. He sees his old friend still stuck in the same loop, confirming that he made the right choice to walk away. He keeps moving. The path of the warrior does not loop in circles. It moves forward, towards higher levels of understanding.
A year later, Hannah returns.
They meet not as two needy halves, but as two complete universes colliding in harmony. Their reunion is sweet because it is a choice, not a necessity. They choose each other out of freedom, not fear.
They decide to share their peace with others, creating a community built on creativity, mindfulness, and mutual respect.
Aiden sees himself in a shy student and gently guides him, planting the seeds of confidence that took him years to grow. The cycle of wisdom continues. By healing himself, Aiden becomes a healer for the next generation of potential warriors.
The spirit of the samurai lives on, not in swords and battles,
but in the courage to be oneself.
Let us summarize the 3 pillars of Aiden's transformation.
Cut toxic ties, love without possession, and find strength in solitude. First, understand that social attachment is often a form of slavery. Break the chains of expectation to find your freedom. Second, true love allows the other person to be free. Do not clutch the water. Let it flow and appreciate it. Third, apply the samurai strategy. Travel light, stay focused, and do not let the noise of the world disturb your mind. Aiden's journey teaches us that the most important relationship you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. When you are at peace with yourself, you become invincible. No insult can hurt you, and no rejection can break you. Your independence is a gift to the world. It shows others that it is possible to live without fear. The book is closed, but the practice never ends. Every day is a new opportunity to walk the path alone. Go into the world, but do not be of the world. Keep your inner sanctuary sacred and untouched by chaos. Listen to the silence. In the silence, you will find the answers that the noise of society tries to hide. Be grateful for the struggles that pushed you to this point. Without the pain, Aiden would never have woken up. Ask yourself today, are you living your own life, or are you acting in a play written by someone else? It is time to untie the knots. It is time to drop the heavy baggage. It is time to walk. The path of the lone warrior is not for everyone, but for those who dare, it leads to true paradise. Be your own North Star. Navigate your life by your internal compass, not by the shifting winds of popular opinion. It takes courage to be disliked. It takes courage to be alone. But that courage is the price of freedom. Walk together when you can. Walk alone when you must. But always walk with your head held high and proud. As we approach the end of this video, take a moment to reflect on what you are carrying that you should drop. Like this flame, your spirit is resilient. Protect it from the winds of society, and it will light your way. What is one small step you can take today to reclaim your independence? Start small, but start right now. We want to hear your story. Share in the comments below how you are applying the Dokodo in your life. If this video resonated with you, please like and subscribe to support our mission of spreading wisdom to the world. Check out our other videos on Stoicism and psychology to continue your journey of self-discovery and mental empowerment. We appreciate your time and attention. Your growth is our motivation, and we are honored to be part of your journey. Remember Aiden's story. You have the power to rewrite your own script and become the hero of your own life. Musashi said, "There is nothing outside of yourself that can ever enable you to get better, stronger, richer, or smarter. Everything is within. Seek nothing outside of yourself. This is the ultimate secret to a life of infinite potential." Let these words sink into your subconscious mind. Let them guide your actions and transform your reality, starting today. Stand tall, walk straight, breathe deep. You are stronger than you think, and you are never
truly alone.
Thank you for watching. We wish you strength, wisdom, and peace on your path. Until next time, stay strong. This has been a production of Infinite Mind Potential, unlocking the hidden strengths of the human spirit, one video at a time. Infinite Mind Potential. Subscribe now and join the community of warriors. See you in the next video.